Hi guys, welcome to another video. So after multiple unsuccessful attempts at finding a location where I could shoot another video in Taipei City, I decided to just give up and take the camera to a place that I like very much, that I thought would be quiet, and I think it's pretty quiet except for all the jungle sounds. I'm in the this place is called the Elephant Mountain, and more specifically the Elephant Mountain Ridge, which is very close to Taipei 101. And apart from the fact that it's noon and it's like 37 degrees and the humidity is approaching like 70% and I have no water, other than that, I think it's pretty cool that I'm here. So I wanted to make a video about Tokyo while I was in Tokyo, but unfortunately I couldn't find a place suitable for making good videos, and I was always on the run. So I decided to wait until I come to Taipei and make the video here. Tokyo has been absolutely amazing, really absolutely amazing, with so many impulses and emotions that it's going to take me, I don't know, a couple of months probably to process. And I can't just give you one opinion about Tokyo, and because I just know that it's going to change. But what I can say is that in the 4 days that I've been there, I had a really good time. And even though 4 days are not long enough to understand how the society really works and all that, 4 days are definitely enough to understand a lot of things, and to most importantly see things that are very that are probably hidden even to people who have been living in Tokyo or Japan their entire lives, simply because they just don't see them anymore. So to me, what was really striking from day one was basically the fact that everything Japanese do, whether it is services or products or whatever, is approaching perfection. Like the materials that they use in whatever, really whatever, whether it is the pavement or the paper that you use to like wrap sandwiches in, which is like silk, it really is approaching perfection. And it really, like, the Japanese world and civilization really has to have evolved to an unbelievably like high level to be able to provide that kind of perfection, because like it's not perfection, but it's really approaching perfection. And it's just not something that you see. I've lived in 9 countries and I've been to 25. Arguably, I mean, I have friends who've been to 100 countries, but you know, I can make at least some sort of a comparison. And it really was the first time that I ever saw something like that, you know? Services, cars, just road construction, everything was approaching perfection, and with a very high stress on not disturbing like everyone else's peace, I guess you could call it like that. So people would, like the construction workers, they would completely seal off the construction site. Like I saw one in the Tokyo metro where they would like tape. They would have screens, but like to prevent the dust from just lying around the whole metro station. But they would actually tape it to the ground and to the ceiling so that absolutely no dust would go through. Another thing that was very surprising for me was how quiet Tokyo was, even like during rush hours. I lived in Sangenjaya, but I've been to all the major places in Tokyo. So Shibuya, Ginza, the Emperor's Palace, many places that I think are considered very noisy normally. But to me, and especially like coming from Taipei, they were so quiet. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, I could hear the people from across the street. I could hear them, and that is something that is just absolutely impossible in Taipei. There were almost no scooters, a lot of electric scooters, electric cars that would turn off their engines while they were waiting at the traffic lights, stuff like that. Small things that were very nice to see. The organization of how people just move around is beautiful. Like if there's a tunnel between 2 stations, metro stations, then people would walk like on one side. If you go in that direction, you walk on the left side. If you come back, you walk on the other side, so that they don't bump into each other. And this is something that might sound absolutely normal to to Japanese and maybe to a lot of other cultures, but from where I come from and even here in Taipei, this is something that is really, really not the case. One thing that was a little bit surprising though was the food. I didn't really like, I'm not a food type of a person. I can eat the same thing 5 times a day for a year and I don't really mind. But I didn't find the food in Tokyo and in Japan especially good. It was, I'm sorry, and I know that like for Japanese people, food is everything. We're a very large part of their culture. So I'm sorry if someone gets insulted, but Japanese food to me, or at least that what I saw, was nothing special. It was just beef, pork, very small portions, quite expensive, and rice and sauces and all that. And I know that, I mean, I haven't been to any like high-end, expensive restaurants or anything like that, but I think that, and what I ate was only what I ate at street vendors or restaurants, at train stations and stuff like that. But I think that you really shouldn't go to high-end restaurants to understand the cuisine of a given country. You should, like, the first stand on the street should be a representation, or at least a slight representation of what you're gonna get. And in Tokyo, this was kind of disappointing because, like I said, the food wasn't that healthy. Especially, I think it was usually very fried and oily and stuff like that. So, food to me in Japan is a little bit of a disappointment. But this and the Tokyo metro system, which wasn't that great. And one more thing, what was it? Oh, the the ceilings and stuff like that was a little bit lower, so I kept bumping my head. But these are the very few things that actually were negative. All others, like everything else, was pretty good. In the beginning, I was absolutely fascinated by Tokyo. I thought that, what, this is a place where I could live. I really like the way people treat each other, like on a professional level. I think this is how a very crowded society, a modern crowded society, could work. This could be a model for other societies as well. And I thought, what, maybe I could move here and look for a job and then live here for a while and see how it works out. But like a couple of days have passed, literally 2 days, 3 days, and I started seeing like the negative aspects of living in countries like Japan. The level of stress in that society is amazing. Like, in order to achieve what they have achieved, the perfection that they have achieved, you need to put in amazing man hours to have that kind of result. And it's just a lot of stress. It's just really a lot of stress for the people, and I don't know if I could take it. Like, sometimes the perfection I think that they require and that they are exerting is unnecessary. Like, they are trying to aim or achieve 100% perfection. They get 95, but I think 80 would be good. You don't have to push for that much, but they still try to push for that much, and it's just creating a lot of stress, a lot of hours that people have to work. People are quite, or at least what I have noticed, very cold to each other. Just like this professional attitude towards everything, this protection of your personal space. Like, yeah, things that I didn't feel that warmth that I felt in other countries that I've been to. And that would be something that probably in the long run would, I don't know, I probably could not live in a place like that. Tokyo was really very interesting from many points of view, small details to big stuff. Like I said, there was almost no pollution or nothing that I could notice. I lived in Taipei for 5 years, and it's really bad here. I mean, if you go out on a bike ride, you go to your work, or you just go to buy something and you come back, and because of all the pollution, you literally feel like you've been barbecued. You can't hear anything because of the scooters, because of the traffic, because of the loudness and all that. And it's not good. But in Tokyo, everything is quiet. Like, you literally can't hear the people from across the street, and like, if you speak Japanese, you know what they're talking about. So from this point of view, it was just amazing. And I kept taking so many pictures of little details that I saw that were just mind-blowing. Like that little sign that I posted on Instagram where it's basically said that they are apologizing for the beginning of construction works. That is something that is just absolutely incredible. So it was a very interesting trip, and I mean, I don't even pretend to understand Japan or anything. I'm just giving you my impressions, and impressions that will definitely change over the next couple of weeks. It has been very inspirational, and definitely that trip has has provided me with lots and lots of food for thought, because you really need to go out of your comfort zone, way out of your comfort zone, to start learning a lot. And I think when I went to Japan, to Japan even for 4 days, this kind of happened, and I enjoyed it really very much. Hopefully I'll get to go back again. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to live there. It has that big city syndrome. Tokyo has that big city syndrome. That means that you need to have an extraordinarily good job to have a normal life. So if you have a good job, then you probably have a very difficult life, and you have problems surviving, and you live in a very small apartment, and you have to count your money all the time. So that's a lot of stress, and I don't like that. I can, I think I could have a much more comfortable living in other places. But I would definitely like to live in Japan for some time to experience more of the country, to learn more, and the good stuff and the bad stuff. And after a very long time, I mean, at least for a little bit, I felt overwhelmed, because I was a butterfly. I felt overwhelmed, and it didn't happen to me for a very long time. So I'm very grateful for that. Oh, and the trip ended in a beautiful way. The plane from Tokyo to Taipei landed 40 minutes earlier. Like, can you like process that? 40 minutes earlier. The trip was supposed to take 2 hours and 50 minutes, but it took 2 hours and 10 minutes. Now, to cut 40 minutes in a flight that is supposed to take 160, like 1/4, that's really unbelievable. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was my little impressions of my trip to Tokyo. If you liked the video, just give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.